So you're thinking about getting your real estate license, and chances are if you're an investor, you're already making money in real estate. So why would you want to get your license? This is a video I want to make after almost 5 years as a real estate investor. I just got my real estate license, and so I want to make a video and present some options or some pros as to why you should consider getting your real estate license, and also a couple cons. So let's get into it. So I guess the unavoidable first point or topic is access to the MLS. And now for me, this wasn't too big of a deal. I've had MLS access for years now. You know, if you're in the business long enough and you have the right connections, you can easily get MLS access. So I wouldn't consider that any sort of icing or cherry on top of my cake. You know, it is valuable to have MLS access. You can run comps for your investments. There's a lot of, in North Carolina, there's the Realist system, which is great for just general information on properties, based on public record, all in one place, and, you know, access to new listings and stuff like that. So there's a lot of value to having the MLS, but like I said, I've had the MLS for a long time, since before I ever was an agent. And that definitely wasn't a reason for me, but it very well could be a reason for you. And the MLS is definitely very valuable to have. You know, if it takes you getting your license to finally get access to the MLS, I'd say it's worth it. My second factor to consider here, as far as getting your real estate license, is access to more deals. It's going to open more doors for you to be able to see more property, look at more property, talk to more people, and ultimately just, you know, get your hands out there on a lot more of what's going on in your market. So I really think that getting a real estate license will open the door to you being able to see and look at and review more deals, as, you know, arguably investments first and maybe listings or sales second. Yeah, I mean, the more hands you shake, the more money you make, and it's no different in real estate or looking at deals. You know, the more deals you look at, the more deals you're going to be able to close. Moving right along, I think a huge benefit to getting your real estate license is it adds another tool to your tool belt. If you're an investor and you're doing deals, maybe you're doing wholesale deals, you're fix and flipping, maybe you just have rentals. You know, it just, like I said, it adds another tool to your tool belt. So if you're an investor and you're going out and you're making cash offers on deals, let's say you're looking at a house that's, you know, you offer $60,000 cash on and they turn it down. Well, you can just turn around right away and say, hey, look, maybe you want 120. Well, I can list it for you and we can get that. If this offer doesn't work, you know, maybe we should look at doing this. So as another tool to your tool belt, you're already bringing these leads into your funnel, so you're able to not just turn them away because you can't help them. You can still monetize these leads and make money off the back end. So this one right here is probably my favorite, and the biggest reason that I went the license route and ended up getting mine is because it's been a funny year for us in 2020, and as I think we can all feel maybe the market's starting to change, or we're all conscious that we could start seeing a turn. Having your real estate license allows you to adapt in changing market conditions. There's not always going to be great investment deals like we're seeing right now. It's a huge seller market. So maybe your time is better spent listing deals and closing deals that way. But maybe the market turns and there's a huge opportunity to start buying deals and doing, you know, rehabs or picking them up cheap for rentals. And so I think there's a big opportunity and a big advantage to having your real estate license to be able to adapt as the market changes. So you're always able to be doing deals no matter what side of the table you're sitting on. So we kind of already touched on this one, but there's just more ways to monetize yourself. You can do property management, you can do commercial, you could be a listing agent, you could be a selling agent. Again, it just opens you up to a lot more freedoms to be able to monetize yourself, make money, do deals, help other people. And my last point here, which could be very valuable for some of you, is if you get your broker's license as an investor, you're able to list your own deals. If you're a rehabber, that could save you, you know, quite a few $1,000s on the listing side if you're representing and selling your own deals. Now, maybe you don't want to do that, that's fine, whatever, but it allows you the option to be able to do that and just kind of cut out the middleman there, and they could, you know, if it's a tight deal, could really help your margins. So getting into cons here, I really couldn't think of too many cons as far as reasons to not get your real estate license. Cost, here in North Carolina, it was like $500. Time, it was like a 70 or 75 hour course, which took a whole month of like full 8-hour days, I think 2 8-hour days a week on Zoom. And so that definitely it's a long day. They're long days. And also the test. I mean, here in North Carolina, they say it's one of the tougher states to get your license. And I think the test took me like 3.5 hours to go through. I passed the first time, but it's definitely not an easy path to go as far as studying and the time you have to put in, and you actually have to be active and engaged in your learning because you're going to cover so many things. And if you really don't pay attention, I mean, you're going to get left behind. And you know, no matter what, you don't want to waste $500. $500 is $500. So I think that cost, time, and the testing aspect is a con. But you know, you close one deal that's, you know, a 3% commission on $100,000 is $3,000, and you know, it more than well pays for itself. And the only other con is, you know, as an investor, you probably don't have someone looking over your shoulder, but as soon as you get your real estate license, you know, people can report you to the board. You're bound by their ethics and their rules. Now you should already be doing deals ethically. But yeah, you know, you do have that presence of someone else looking over your shoulder as you conduct business. So yeah, these are some practical thoughts on why I think investors probably should get the real estate license. I don't really see that much of a downside. I think it's well worth it. Again, I think the biggest benefit is adapting to the change in the economy as things tend to happen, and adding another tool to your tool belt, being able to help your sellers, your leads. You know, if your cash offer doesn't work, you can turn around and list it. You can manage other people's property. You know, maybe something happens and you decide you want to go into commercial. You know, you can build more relationships. I think it's just there really isn't a whole lot of downsides as far as doing it if you're already investing. Now, you know, there might be an opportunity cost where you're already making so much money, you're doing so many deals where you're too far ahead to where you have to worry about it. And that could be the case as well. And I'd have that conversation with myself if I were you. So yeah, hope you got some value out of this video. Please give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, don't really care. Leave a comment. Let me know if you think there's other pros or cons to getting a real estate license, or if you're going to do it. And I'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.